Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are watching the station identification of one of Wayland City's resident YouTubers. Live in the basement. This is not MTV's remote control. And he is not Ken Ober. God rest Ken Ober's soul. This is WEML-TV, Channel 77. And now here's your host, New Bedford, Massachusetts' own, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Wonderful Announcer. Yes, right, you heard him. This is WEML-TV, Channel 77. I am Eric Lima, your host. What's going on, everybody? Hope everyone's having a wonderful, blessed Saturday, as well as I have. So, well, I did clock in work early and got out of work early. That way I got going, got myself some lunch, ate some lunch. I decided, well, I'm going to go take a shower. I took a shower. That way I don't have to worry about taking mine like in the middle of the night, because I have that penchant for doing so. But my laundry will be all set and ready to go. I do have a package here, but I'm waiting for another package to come in because I found out it's coming in later on today. So once that package comes in, we're going to do a Cyber Swagging episode. I have not done that in a while because I have not bought anything online for quite a while. So we're going to do that in the near future. So possibly the next episode will be right after this. I don't know what episode of Cyber Swagging that will be going at, but one thing's for sure, we're going to have some fun. Alrighty then, I watched AEW Dynamite. I didn't watch it last night, so thank goodness for some streaming services that gave me the ability to watch AEW the night before. This will be the AEW Dynamite Event Center for June the 4th, 2021. That's yesterday, because I was watching SmackDown, and plus I had to go to bed to get up for this morning for work and everything else, for everything all else. And not only that, tonight is the Red Sox-Yankee game on Fox Game of the Week. Doesn't surprise me. So Red Sox did pick up the victory 5-2 over the New York Yankees last night. So we'll get going for tonight's game. And Brendan Workman did come back, and we'll see what happens in the long run here in this series. So we'll probably caught them napping at a good time. They got beat up by the Rays a couple of times. They got swept by the Tigers. So it's something to look out for. One thing about AEW, because I was tweeting the big Yu Shirai fan, who I follow on Twitter, says that also is a big fan of Chris Jericho. And Chris Jericho, I'm going to agree with her. He is one of the best, one of the greatest of all time. He's right up there with Stone Cold, The Rock. You know, Chris Jericho also, I think he's there to elevate AEW and elevate the young talent. Look at the young talent, you know, Jake Hager, former World Heavyweight Champion as well. You know, Proud and Powerful, the Santana and Ortiz, the former Impact Tag Team Champions. Sammy Guevara. Now, I'm going to take back everything I said about Sammy Guevara looking like Justin Bieber. He's cooler than Justin Bieber, more handsome than Justin Bieber. He's a young kid, and 23, 24 years old. He's got a brighter future than Justin Bieber, in my personal opinion. And not only that, he's one of the best wrestlers from AEW. He's got. If there's going to be a future champion in AEW, it will be Sammy Guevara of Inner Circle. The kid's got glass ceiling, man, and you know it's going to break from that glass ceiling. I disguise the limit for Sammy Guevara, and I'm glad that he's part of the Inner Circle. I think and I think the Inner Circle deserves a lot of respect. In the Inner Circle, Chris Jericho's got a great team with great talent, and I'll tell you what, it's going to be something else to watch out for. Sammy Guevara is my AEW pick of the week as far as Wrestler of the Week, in my opinion. If there was an Eric Lima award for AEW Wrestler of the Week, it would go to Sammy Guevara. He was the MVP of that Stadium Stampede. But it kicked off with a non-title match with two-thirds of the Death Triangle, Pac and Penta El Zero Miedo versus the Young Bucks. And because they took the Young Bucks and the Elite took out Ray Phoenix and John Moxley. And Kazarian seemed to be on a hunt for Elite members because he attacked Michael Nakazawa, the young boy, one of the young boys of the Elite. Unbelievable. And then the Good Brothers chase him out of there, so that's going to be huge. The Young Bucks did win the matchup after Brandon Cutler got involved. He was another young boy of the Elite. Post-match attack by the Young Bucks on Penta and Pac, and Eddie Kingston goes to stop them because Eddie Kingston never forgot what they did to Moxley. So, but then Tony Schiavone interviewed Mark Henry, who was debuting a new show on Friday nights as well after the NBA playoffs are over and stuff. He goes, he's not here to fix AEW because AEW is not broken. He's here to elevate AEW to a newer level. And he asked him, is he going to go back in the ring? He said, well, I still got a lot left in me. And fans saying, you still got it all out. And he lost a lot of weight. Looks good. So, I think we could see Mark Henry. I like to see Mark Henry and Paul White team up. I want to see how those two would operate. I mean, and then you're talking about some of the superstars that are coming in, the legendary wrestlers that come in like Christian Cage, Matt Hardy, Jake the Snake Roberts, Tully Blanchard. I think they are there to help elevate the new younger talent, including Sting. I can't forget Sting, the new younger talent at AEW. That's why you're going to see the younger talent at AEW get their just desserts. As far as, get their opportunities to really, really shine. So, but then Vicky Guerrero interrupted both Mark Henry and Tony Schiavone, told them they're excused. He goes, he was going to introduce one of the newest talents for AEW. He's going to introduce someone who's been traveling all over the world, taking titles, and give it up for Andrade El Idolo. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And that's right, the former Andrade Cien Almas, now Andrade El Idolo, or Andrade the Idol, has arrived on AEW. It was only a matter of time where he was going to sign up. AEW was the place he signed up, and he basically has Vicky Guerrero as his manager. So this is going to be a very, very interesting situation. He says he's not here to be the face. He's not just to be the face of Latinos. He's here to be the new face of AEW. Hey, I'd rather have him be an AEW champion than Kenny Omega. Let me tell you. Maybe he may be the guy to knock off Omega. Remember, he did challenge Omega to a matchup for the AAA Megas Championship. So, could that rivalry be renewed in AEW? I wouldn't put it past me. I don't know about you guys, but Andrade El Idolo will be somebody to watch in AEW. He's really going to shine, definitely. And then they had that matchup, Nightmare Family versus The Factory. Cody Rhodes and Big Shotty Lee Johnson. I like that, Big Shotty. Big Shotty in the house. Against QT Marshall and Anthony Ogogo, or as I like to call them, QT Fire Marshallville and Anthony Ogogo Power Rangers. And, but due to the chicanery of The Factory, thanks to Aaron Solo, the former fiance of Bayley, just to let you guys know, Marshall and Ogogo won their matchup. Ogogo starts running his mouth, and says they know he did it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So, then the Inner Circle, I mentioned them at the top of the show video. Celebration of Stadium Stampede said they loved them so much they gave them Stadium Stampede 2021 champion shirts. All the fans. Classy by Jericho and Inner Circle. Gotta love these guys. Inner Circle, just probably the classiest stable in AEW right now. Gotta love. Like I said, I like Inner Circle. I mean, those guys are entertaining. They're fun. Jericho, still fighting with a bum arm, but I think he'll be all right. Jake Hager, he's got a lot to prove. He wants to take on Wardlow in an MMA cage fight in 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, let's get that match going. I like to see that. I like to see that fight. But Sammy Guevara, they lauded him as the MVP of the Stadium Stampede matchup. And Sammy Guevara, this guy has the humongous upside. Like I said before, Sammy Guevara is the future AEW. I like to see Sammy Guevara be the AEW World Heavyweight Champion when all is said and done. I'm seeing that. I just see that. Probably next year or two. Who knows? I think Sammy Guevara is the future of AEW, in my personal opinion. So, anyways, Alex Marvez interviews Kenny Omega, who is bragging and running his mouth, and they're making jokes about Jungle Boy. About this theme song from the 80s. So Christian Cage and Jungle Boy went tagged up against Private Party. One thing about Private Party is another tag team benefiting under Matt Hardy's trilogy. Matt Hardy's kind of like the when Michael P.S. Hayes came back, he needed revenge on the Brood. Matt and Jeff Hardy were recruited alongside him. So if you think about that, that was back in '99. Think about that. Matt Hardy's taking that same role. And he's helping out Private Party, Mark Quinn, Isaiah Kennedy. These two guys right here are the future of the tag team division in AEW right now. I wouldn't put it past me to see the Private Party go up against the Young Bucks again, and this time the AEW tag team titles were on the line. That's what I would love to see. But in the end, though, in that matchup, though, Christian Cage and Jungle Boy did pick up the victory. But Matt Hardy attacked Christian Cage with the Twist of Fate. That rivalry still continued for decades, for over a decade. Got it? They'll fight forever. The Inner Circle said that their feud with the Pinnacle is not over. I see these guys go all out war. That's going on all out war, man. Let's beat them. Let's keep these guys going. Another Stadium Stampede match? Hey, I went all for it. Why not? Stadium Stampede match, like I said, is one of my favorite matches in AEW. It's one of the coolest, craziest thing ever. And then T-Taz cut a promo on Adam Page and daring him to pick a partner from Dark Order to take on Powerhouse Hobbs and Brian Cage. That's a mean team right there. If Taz is going to put a tag team together, Cage and Hobbs, that'll be something else. And Adam Page decided to pick up Dark Order's number 10. That means -1 is going to be in their corner as well. Hello. Now, Tony Schiavone interviewed Darby Allin and Sting, but then Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, a.k.a. Harold, interrupted them. He said, pick anyone but Sting to face us in the matchup. So, who's Darby Allin going to pick? Who knows for sure? Somebody else from the Dark Order maybe, because Dark Order's been coming out respecting Sting and Darby Allin. So, you're talking about this. The Dark Order seems to be like the team of justice, I'm sure they have gone through a lot since the passing of Brody Lee. So they have no leaders. So it seems like they want to do their thing their way. So somebody's going to step up. And then Dr. Britt Baker, DMD Championship Celebration by defeating Hikaru Shida for the title at Double or Nothing. And prompting Shida to cut her hair. So I don't know what she looks like now. But one thing's for sure, Shida is not going to be playing around. But then while they were celebrating with some hamburgers and decided not to be nice to the fans and all that, the free hamburger coupons, but then all of a sudden, as they were about to Rebel, Britt Baker, and Tony Schiavone about to toast some hamburgers, Nyla Rose slaps the hamburgers out of their hands, pops some balloons. So Nyla Rose, I think she wants to be the AEW Women's World Champ again. And believe me, one come past Nyla Rose, and if I were Britt Baker, watch the back. I'm sure, because Britt Baker's not going to take that laying down. I think that's the way of her saying, hey, I want my title shot. So, and then Alex Marvez interviewed Eddie Kingston about what happened earlier that night, and then Pac and Penta were like, hey, what's up with this? We don't want anything to do with you, Let me let you guys think about this. He said, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. You guys think about that. And they made a 6-man tag. It'll be the Young Bucks and Brendan Cutler versus the 2/3 of the Death Triangle, Penta and Pac, and Eddie Kingston. So that's going to be a very interesting matchup. The Bunny took on Red Velvet in the women's competition. Red Velvet was part of the Nightmare family. Kylan King and Big Swole was in the corner, while the Blade was in the corner of the Bunny. The Bunny, as you know, is Allie, a.k.a. Cherry Bomb. And the Blade knows Braxton Sutter from Impact. Then, so Braxton Sutter tried to get the Bunny to use the Knuckle Dusters once again, but Red Velvet saw it coming. Red Velvet was too smart this time around, and she picked up the victory over the Bunny. And then the Dark Order had a promo on the TNT Championship. Now, John Silver was supposed to get a shot at the title, but he was not medically cleared to compete against Miro. And in fact, if that was the case, John Silver made Miro mincemeat from him. But then he handed the title shot over to Evil Uno, and Evil Uno says, I'm not going to let you guys down. And then Miro responded to Evil Uno's challenge, said he'll beat Evil Uno and take on the championship. He also gave a shout out to his wife, who is still hot. I would not be surprised if Lana ends up in AEW now that she's been released by the WWE. I would not be surprised if she ends up in AEW, and unless she has a 90-day no compete clause. If she didn't have that in her contract, I wouldn't see. She wouldn't waste any time going to AEW and help out Miro retain the TNT Championship. So, and there was the bull rope match of Dustin Rhodes, who's been undefeated in that, against Mick Camarado of the Factory. And it got to the point where the Factory tried to get involved, but in the end, Dustin Rhodes did pick up the victory over Nick Camarado. So that is my AEW event center for June the 4th, 2021. Some more side notes. I like Tainara Conti. If I had two female wrestlers I like, Tainara Conti and Hikaru Shida. And I'll tell you one thing right now. I would love to see Maki Ito come back to AEW and fight for AEW because she's very entertaining. She's funny. And she's like the version of Mae Young and Stone Cold Steve Austin rolled in the one, but in a younger version. But also the woman sings, for goodness sakes, which is really cool. But I like Tainara Conti and Hikaru Shida. I think both ladies have an upside in that women's division. They're the future of the women's division. And that's all I got to say about that. TNT Championship, I don't know who's going to step up against Miro, but one thing's for sure. I know Evil Uno will try his luck. But, Miro's been very dangerous since he came to AEW. So, I would not be surprised, if Lance Archer will still go after Miro. That's another thing, too. I think Miro's going to have to grow eyes in the back of his head for that. Also, the AEW, like I said, who's going to stop Kenny Omega? I'm thinking, Frankie Kazarian's going to go, maybe going up to the point where he may eliminate everybody until it's only him and Kenny Omega in the ring. That's what I'm thinking, and that's what I could be thinking too. Eddie Kingston. The Elite has a lot of targets on their bodies right now, and believe me, Eddie Kingston, we know the Bastard Pac and Penta El Zero Miedo are three men that are after the Elite. I know Frankie Kazarian's after the Elite, and one thing's for sure: the targets they're always been on the backs of them, and it's something the elite really, really needs to cut the shenanigans out, or else there'll be a lot of people will be targeting them and Omega, especially in Impact Wrestling. There's gonna be somebody. I know Eddie Edwards is a former champion. I know Moose and Callahan. If it takes a triple threat match to get the title off Omega, then so be it. But one thing's for sure, Omega is really painted a bullseye in his back so big, everybody will be like lightning bolts ready to strike it. That's for sure. So, that is all the time I have for episode 273 of WEML-TV, Channel 77. This is another AEW event center for June the 4th, 2021 from last night. I will be doing a Saturday Superstarcade episode pretty soon. And also, I got some packages, and another package will come in, and we'll try to do a Cyber Swaggin' episode. I haven't done one of those in quite a while, so we'll see what happens, all right? This is Eric Lima signing off right now until the next episode of WEML-TV, Channel 77. And until then, keep smiling. Bless out.